Namely, the promoters of championship wrestling.
Russell Dave Brown, and by golly, we're not 2 steps away from the big ring right there. It'll be filling up with action on championship wrestling. Looks like another dandy today, David.
It should be a good one. We're going to have young Paul Diamond in here out of Thunder Bay, Ontario, in the opening match coming up in just a moment. Rip Rogers from Seymour, Indiana, be here a little bit later on. Jeff Jarrett will be here. The Mod Squad with J.D. Costello. And then later on today, Dutch Mantel will be in here. And also Tony Falk. They'll be involved in tag team matches coming up later.
Yes, sir. Those are some of the names that'll be here. And by golly, the action you can't predict. Tell you what you do. Put on the seat belts and get ready for it. We're going to be back, and we'll open up with that first action in just one moment. Exciting young man out of Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada, and I'm talking about Paul Diamond. Paul, talking with you more in depth a few weeks ago, and you were talking about the comeback, and by golly, you are looking great. I got to say, you must be pleased because comeback, you are really on schedule with it, looking very good.
Well, thanks, Lance. You know, I didn't know what to expect when I first came back, but now I feel my strength is up 100%.
Looking good physically.
I feel good. I'm in top shape, and you know, the next step for me, I would like some sort of a title shot in here.
Well, you're certainly on the right path to doing it because you've been racking up some impressive wins.
Well, thank you. You know, every match that you have is a step on the ladder up to that title shots. And one thing that concerns me a little bit is this character, Rip Rogers. I know he wants to win a title too.
Sure.
You know, and the match went to a 15-minute draw, and he wanted to settle it with 5 more minutes. Well, Rip Rogers, that's fine with me. We got in there, you know, and I'm not the one to start a fight. Well, he did. And 5 more minutes we had. And then, you know, I'm kind of surprised at Eddie Marlin, too. He sends out 6 guys out there, and they're holding me down so we couldn't finish what we had started. But now I got a commitment from Eddie Marlin, and next time, Rip Rogers, we get in that squared circle, I'm going to finish what you had started.
Well, I know that you told me after the situation was all over and you were a little upset about all the guys pounding and holding you down and all that kind of stuff, but it is a situation where Eddie was saying, hey, we've got other matches on the card and we got to get going, and what he was trying to do is take care of business. You said, I don't mind wrestling anybody, but I really don't like to fight that much, but I can fight, and I believe you showed everybody you could fight.
Well, you know, the marquee out there says wrestling, and that's what I came here to do, is wrestle. But if he wants a fight, I can fight too. Like I said, I'm not the one to start him, but I'll sure finish him.
All right, golly, we are looking forward to seeing you in the ring much more. As a matter of fact, we're getting ready to see you in action just about now.
Thank you, Lance.
Okay. Paul Diamond, exciting wrestler out of Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada. And I believe we've got a match coming up now.
Well, we don't worry about this stumble bum. There ain't nobody caring about Paul Diamond. All the girls out there want to look at the Nature Boy and the Superstar. Now, I ain't out here to blow no hot air. I'm out here to make a challenge, Russell, and it ain't going to be you, because if we slap you for 5 years, they ain't going to see us again, right? But sometimes I think it would be worth it. Well, I'm just going to tell y'all something. Jerry Lawler's walking around calling himself the Southern Heavyweight Champion, wearing the Southern Heavyweight belt, and everybody knows it was the referee that won it for him. The referee dove down behind me, counted 1, 2, 3 real fast, stood up, gave him the belt, and said, quick, run away with it. Well, Lawler, I'm just going to tell you something, punk. I want a rematch, because every time he asked for one, I give it to him, Lance. Every time he asked for one, right, Budrow?
That's exactly right, Bill.
That's one side of it.
That's right. Now, I'm just going to tell you something, Jerry Lawler. If you got enough guts, you'll go to Eddie Marlin and tell him I want to wrestle Bill Dundee on television. Because when I beat you, punk, I want the whole world to see it. Now, a couple of weeks ago, he came out of the closet and said, was it being a coward, right? Remember?
Yeah,
that little interview,
remember.
right?
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
Lawler, you're on the spot, boy. If you don't want all them rednecks out there to think that the Nature Boy and the Superstar's telling the truth, he's going to have to sign the match, right?
Well, that's the way you look at it. Of course, he's obviously trying to feather his own net.
I got to tell all you rednecks something. The Nature Boy and the Superstar, we can't wait for tomorrow. Know why, Lance?
Why?
Because we get better looking every day.
Okay, let's go to the ring now that we've heard from Dundy and Landell, and we're ready, David.
They're underway here with Paul Diamond in the ring.
Okay, we have Paul Diamond going against the other half. We saw the Undertaker, I believe, last week or a couple of weeks ago, and this is the other half of the team. We mentioned at the time they were a tag team the last time we'd seen them, and here is the other Undertaker. He's a big guy also.
This one is taller, but doesn't weigh quite as much as the other. Both of them big, though. They weigh in around, well, I guess, almost 250 for this one. Paul Diamond, Canadian, on a comeback trail after some tough personal problems, and been looking good in matches lately. Hey, nice move right there. He put the Undertaker down here.
Diamond is picking back all of that weight. When he had these problems, he got down in the 160, 65-pound class, and boy, he's a long way from that now.
Undertaker tried to hook Diamond's leg there, but he couldn't get a hold set up. Paul Diamond back in control. Good move. He just leaped through the air and popped him with the upper arm. Had kind of a double momentum with the Undertaker coming off the ropes and Diamond headed for him head on.
Paul's got that fine combination of good athletic ability, good speed, and the Undertaker had enough to kick him out at the count of 2. But right away, Diamond back on that arm, barred up very tight. Undertaker didn't have a chance. He was thinking about going and hooking a leg, but Diamond saw it, took him right down to the mat.
Got that arm hammered up behind him. Really able to put some heat on it from that angle. Undertaker's not giving it up. No submission. Referees checked with him 2-3 times on it.
Diamond has gotten his attention well enough. The Undertaker really hadn't fired back with anything going in this match. It's been all Paul Diamond.
Yeah, the Undertaker's had to be on the defensive the whole way. Keep from getting his arm ripped off there.
Got it caught in a hammer, and Diamond moved back into the ropes, and the Undertaker now zinging away. Paul blocks him, stuns him with a right of his own.
Down at 2. I thought he had him there for a 3 count. 2 count, though.
I was ready to ring the bell on that one, but he didn't. Reversal, and Diamond in. Leapfrog, back, side kick. And boy, he nailed him hard. Could be this time. He does.
3 minutes and 1 second. Good match for Paul Diamond as he gets the win.
We've got more. We'll be seeing the Hustler Rip Rogers in just a moment. Ooh, just looking over the big action coming up Wednesday night, Evansville Coliseum. 6 big matches with a main event, friend, that you're going to be interested in. Bill Dundee, Buddy Landel, going against the team of Jerry Lawler and Joe LeDuc. Some fireworks going on Wednesday night in the Coliseum.
You get that right, Lance, and it's going to be a little different story than last week, because now it's just down to the 4, Joe LeDuc and the King, Landell and Dundy, and I can assure you it's going to be a different story. We're going to change things up a little bit this week, Dundy and Landell. It don't set well with me to know that I was handcuffed to a rope and have my partners, Joe LeDuc and Jeff Jarrett, left laying in the ring, a bloody mess. That don't set well with me at all, brother. Wednesday night, we're going to change things around, I can assure you. I got a little piece piece of film. I want to show everybody out there just a little piece of film here of something that this man can do. I know really well Joe LeDuc. I know firsthand the kind of strength that this man has. As you can see, I weigh 234 pounds. He picked me up like a feather, brother, over his head, threw me out over that ring in Memphis, Tennessee, onto the announcer's table, Lance. And you know and the fans know that as a result of that, I spent months trying to recover, brother, from the badly damaged leg that I had. And I have asked Joe LeDuc to do one thing this week. When we get in that ring on Wednesday night, Joe LeDuc, I want you to take Dundy and Landell, and I don't care which one it is, but I want you to pick them up over your head, and I want you to do the same thing to them that you did to me. Are you capable of that, Joe?
Am I capable? Lawler, you should know better than that. I'm going to go to Evansville. Don't worry, I won't slap you. Buddy Landel and Bill Dundee. You like to talk a lot. Well, I'm going to say my talking in the ring. And what Lawler wants me to do, I can do it. I'm going to pick you up, maybe two at a time, and throw you. And somebody ran through the towel.
Standing right here with me, former champion, as a matter of fact, in at least 3 major divisions, two holders of 2 bodybuilding contests, Hustler Rip Rogers.
That's right, Mr. Russell. Hustler Rip Rogers, the man who's a name in professional wrestling, a man known throughout the world, a man everybody's chasing. And you know, Mr. Russell, Paul Diamond come out here. Mr. Who, Paul Diamond, nobody's ever heard of you, the man with the drug problem. Rehabilitation. And you come out here and you say, I challenged you. Well, let me tell you, Diamond, you challenged me because I'm the man with the name. I'm the man that won wrestling titles. I'm the man that won bodybuilding titles. And I'm the man that's bad in this place around here.
You're the one that challenged him to 5 more minutes. That's
So let me
exactly
tell you,
what
Mr.
you
Russell,
said.
Paul Diamond's a liar. He lied to you. He lied to TV land. He lied to all the people in the studios. He challenged me because he's chasing me. And he says he's a wrestler, but he can fight. I watched his match. He can't wrestle and he can't fight, but I can wrestle and I can fight. And I'm going to show everybody in this area why I'm bad. Woo!
That's what we came to see. Hustler Rip Rogers heads to the ring. We're ready for the next match, Dave.
Waiting in the ring right now is David Haskins. And Hustler Rip Rogers now removing the robe and is ready to step into the ring. The bell has already sounded. We are technically underway. Referee Jerry Calhoun is in. All right, let's go. Rogers, never at a loss for words. As you hear right there. Because he's the man that everybody's chasing around here. Everybody's looking for Rip Rogers. I think David Haskins just found him. Rogers with a knee left to the midsection. Forearm across the back. That slowed down David Haskins' attempt to go for a quick victory here against Rip Rogers. Head into the turnbuckle. Rogers going around the ring to every turnbuckle, running David Haskins' head into it. He got 3 out of 4. Haskins now whipped into the turnbuckles. Rip Rogers calling for Paul Diamond. Wonder who else he's going to be calling for. He's feeling pretty good, in control here. He's got David Haskins on the mat. Minute 25 gone in this one. 1 fall, 15-minute time limit. And out of the ring goes David Haskins. Rogers just threw him out on the floor. Now Rip says, I'm just out here to help him back in, as he double hands him across the back.
Referee helped him back in to keep him off of David Haskins. The referee knows there's a way to handle it, and that he does what he's supposed to do. He starts counting 10. Rogers over, grabs him by the hair, pulls him back up through the ropes, snatches him up as he slams him down and goes at him with a chokehold.
Yeah, definitely choking away. 2 minutes gone in this one. Referee now He's counting and counting on Rogers. What Rogers would do, break it at the last instant and then right back on the throat. Now using the top rope for the same thing as a choke. Snaps Haskins back into the ring. David really been in trouble here the last minute and a half. He was holding his own pretty well early in the match, but Rip Rogers has taken control. Rogers again throws Haskins out of the ring. Second trip out on the floor today for David Haskins.
Oh, the atomic knee.
Atomic knee dropped down on the concrete floor. Rogers back in the ring. Referee is going to start the count now on David Haskins. Boy, when you get the atomic drop put on you in the ring, it's bad enough. But down on that solid concrete floor, which has absolutely no give to it, Rogers now again says, I'm just going to help him into the ring. He does, rolls him under the ropes.
Boy, this Rogers is a real ham, too.
Yeah,
runs his mouth, plays to the cameras and all the folks. He comes off that second rope down and double hands Haskins to the mat.
Haskins has just gotten on his feet, and then off that middle rope comes Rip Rogers.
Big suplex as Rogers takes Haskins over one.
Oh, yeah, Rogers not going for the cover.
This is when I would love to see something like Haskins get up and just beat the stew out of him when he misses an opportunity to go ahead and get a pin because he's showing off. He's going for that Boston Crab. Turns him over, sits down on it. Oh, this is painful.
That's it. 4 minutes, 22 seconds. The Boston Crab. He could have pinned him. He didn't have to go for the submission. Hustler Rip Rogers gets the win.
We mentioned that a couple of weeks ago, Dave. You rarely see the Boston Crab used, but boy, it is a devastating submission hold. Rogers used it well, and he comes out the victor. And he's still running his mouth about Paul Diamond. I got a feeling you'll have a chance to see all the Paul Diamond you want. Hey, young fella, we've really been interested. You know, we've talked so many times. We've seen some of these guys from the very beginning, and the names that come to mind are Robert Gibson and Rick Morton, lots of other guys.
Coco Ware, yeah.
Yeah, right from the very beginning. We're in on another one, and that is Jeff Jarrett, and it's interesting to see the young fella. I think one of the things that attracts me, in addition to his athletic ability, he's still got a lot to learn about professional wrestling, but he is very dead honest about it. He had some very brief comments to make, and I want you to take a listen to him.
The first thing I want to say today is I want to thank the fans for all the support they've given me. I know it's hard sitting out there supporting someone who's probably going to get beat, and for that, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. And the rest of this interview is for you, Bill Dundee. Now, I've already talked to Jerry Lawler and Joe LeDuc, and I've told them how much I really appreciate them letting me be their partner and giving me a good start and a good break in the wrestling business. But Bill Dundee, I'm not going to let you beat Jerry Lawler and Joe LeDuc because of me. It's not fair because they're top wrestlers. But Dundee, there's going to come a day. Right now, I'm 18 years old. I weigh 190 pounds. And mainly, I've got 3 weeks in the wrestling business. Now, Dundee, there's going to come a day when I'll be older. It might be 3 months, 6 months, or a year. But there'll be a day when I'll come to you, Dundee, and ask you for a match.
Sunday, May the 4th, Versailles, Indiana. That's tomorrow. We're looking at 4 o'clock right there in Versailles with some outstanding championship wrestling stars who are going to be there. Make your plans. Get all the friends, all the family. Bring them right on out there. That's Versailles tomorrow, championship wrestling, 4 p.m. Sunday, May the 18th, Fort Knox, Kentucky. More on that later. Now, Let's take a look at Wednesday night, Evansville Coliseum. Tojo Yamamoto against the Assassin. Jeff Jarrett faces Tony Falk. Paul Diamond against Rip Rogers. Abdul Gaddafi and Pat Rose going against Dutch Mantel and Pat Tanaka. Billy Travis and Frank Morrell going against the Mod Squad with J.D. Costello. And then the final event, Bill Dundee, Buddy Landel facing Jerry Lawler, Joe LeDuc. And in this one, Joe LeDuc has already promised it's going to be one or both of them right over the top rope and out into the audience or the nearest spot to dump them. You got to see it Wednesday night right there in Evansville. Okay, we're going to be back in the ring with big action coming up here, and we'll be seeing Jeff Jarrett in action against the Patriot in just a moment. J.D. Costello and the Southern Tag Champs, the Mod Squad. J.D., before we start the interview, I would like to personally extend my condolences on your mother's passing, and we're very sorry to hear about it. And I think enough said about that.
Lance, let me tell you one thing to you. You aren't sorry about anything that happens to me, and I don't appreciate you saying anything about that. The fans aren't sad about it. You're not sad about it. You badmouthed the Mod Squad. You badmouthed myself behind my back, and I'm not going to put up with it. The only person that's sad about it, the only person that's hurt about it is myself. But behind every dark cloud is a silver lining, and today you are looking at probably the richest man on the face of the earth. When I was summoned home for the tragedy from New Orleans last week, Lance, went into my mother's study, and she had left me a note, and I require you to read that on television today. Here, I want you to read it.
Well, now, this is a personal matter. Maybe you'd prefer that we
read it.
Okay, this is to J.D. Costello. Dear son, you have proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that you are successful. You and the Mod Squad have risen to fame, fortune in such a short time. Not only is your inheritance guaranteed, but I'm leaving the entire Costello estate and corporation to you and only you. Your brothers and sisters are nothing compared to you. Signed, this man.
I have inherited all the money. My brothers and sisters have inherited nothing. It's all mine. The corporation, the estate, it's all mine. I have spent all week with my lawyers and auditors going over the amount of money that I have inherited. We haven't finished, but it's approximately valued at $20 million. I'll have a complete report for you next week. Now that I am probably the richest man on the face of the earth, it's time for me to become the most powerful man on the face of the earth. All week long, I have been doing financial reports and contracts and negotiations with different wrestlers within this organization, and I'm proud to announce today the Costello Dynasty has been formed. First, you know the Mod Squad, the most destructive team in the world of professional wrestling today. They can't be touched by anybody. We are the Southern Tag Team Champions. In fact, I'm going to have the titles changed to the J.D. Costello Championship belts because nobody can touch us with them. We were the champions yesterday, we're the champions today, and we'll probably be the champions 10 years from now. On to bigger and better things. I would like to introduce my dynasty. First, Tony Falk. Come out here. Come here, Tony.
He is now with you.
He is now part of the Costello
You're
Dynasty.
aware of his wrestling and his record in professional
Listen to
wrestling.
this. I have made Tony my assistant administrative director of the Costello Dynasty. Under my leadership, Tony will soar to new heights. He is going to see wins in the ring. Do you remember the story about the Wizard of Oz and the Scarecrow? The Scarecrow was a great character on the movie, but he lacked the intellect, the brain. Well, let me be the brain for Tony Falk. I'm going to take Tony Falk to new heights in his career that he has never seen. I'm the brain. He can be my machine, and he's programmed to do as I say. Now, let me introduce Abdul Gaddafi. Abdul, come out here.
Marvelous. The Libyan assassin.
The Libyan leader, Lance Russell. I'm proud to have him in America. And all you sleazy fans who badmouth him when he goes to the ring, your heritage is just not where it belongs. Now, finally, let me introduce Pat Crash Rose. Pat Rose. Come on, Pat.
And he is now with you.
He is now part of my dynasty. I've been around Pat Rose. We've become good friends. I've been around him for about the past 3 months. Pat is probably the most underrated wrestler in the world today, and under my leadership, he is going to become the winner. He is going to see championship belts around his waist, and he is going to see more money than he could ever thought possible, Lance Russell.
Well, you've gathered quite a group here, J.D.
There's one wrestler, though, that I have not been able to get in contact with all week. I think he's a great wrestler, and without a doubt, I believe he can become the world heavyweight champion in a very short time under the auspices of J.D. Costello. That wrestler is Dutch Mantel. Now, I've been trying to get in contact with him all week, and I can't. He's a loner. He stays to himself. I understand that he's here today, and I understand that Eddie Marlin will probably send him out here. I am prepared to make him a very, very lucrative financial offer.
He won't even talk to you, J.D., just to forget it. You called it right. Dutch is a loner. He's not interested in a group.
I think money talks, and I think he will be out here. I'm prepared to offer him a lot of money. He's very skillful in the ring. He's an excellent wrestler, and I think the world of him, and I would like... Dutch, come over here. Come over here. I told you he would come out. Money talks. I've got the money, and I want to talk to Dutch Mantel.
Dutch Mantel showing up, and there he is.
Dutch, I think you're a great wrestler. I'm prepared to offer you a lot of money to join my dynasty today, more money than you've ever seen in your entire life.
Watch these guys.
What are you talking about? What are you going to do?
Let me light your cigar here first. Okay. What I want to do, Dutch, is to offer you part of my dynasty. You know, I think you're a great wrestler. Sometimes you're on a crooked road, though, and what I want to do...
something about money, a financial arrangement.
A financial arrangement,
well,
yes.
How much money are you talking about, J.D.?
Well, I've thought about it a long time, Dutch, and what I'm wanting to offer you first is just an incentive to come to my dynasty, is the amount of money that you made last year as a bonus upfront money. I'll put it in an escrow account, and it can be yours today.
You mean what he made all of last year?
What he made all of last year.
You don't even know what I made last year, J.D.
I don't need to know what you made last year. With all the money that I have, it doesn't matter. I've got a whole lot more money than you made last year, and it will all be yours, Dutch. In addition to that, when you join me, I will grant you a 50% increase in pay over the next year, Dutch.
You mean you're guaranteeing him, in addition to putting aside what he made last year, you're guaranteeing him 50% more than he made last year?
I sure am. Dutch is an excellent wrestler. I want him part of our dynasty so we can rule professional wrestling.
You must want him bad.
Now, you will guarantee me everything I made last year up front.
Right.
Up-front money.
Front money.
And you'll guarantee me a 50% increase on that in regular salary?
Yes, Dutch. Yes, Dutch. You're a great wrestler. I'm prepared to offer you whatever you want. You are going to make it, Dutch, under the auspices of J.D. Costello. You're going to make it right to the top. You can beat Ric Flair. You can be the world heavyweight champion, and I'll see to it that you get there. You'll enjoy fame. You'll enjoy fortune. Sign the contract, Dutch. Come on.
I'm looking at your crew back here that you've signed up, and I should be worth a lot of money. Now, a rich man like you got $20 million, right, and you wear a nice thread.
Exact, thank you.
And you need to, I guess you enjoy the finest cars and the finest standard of life.
Of course.
Am I correct or not?
Of course, and you can enjoy that, too.
And I figure that a man with so much money should be walking around with like $3,000 or $4,000 on him right now. And why don't you just give me some money right now.
Let me say
and
this.
Be
careful, Dutch.
Down here,
are you serious?
I am very serious, Dutch. I'm very serious as I can be. But understand,
Let me tell you, money talks and bull Durham walks. You know what I'm talking about?
And down here in the South, Dutch, I can't walk around with a lot of money because all these heathens out here in the studio and at home, you know, they could come up to me and rob me. They know how much money I'm worth and everything. But I'll write you a blank check.
No.
$20,000 check. It can be yours.
I don't want a check. I want hard, cold cash. Now, how much money you got on you?
Well,
if you want to,
let's see.
How much money you got on you?
I don't carry around much money. Let me.
You want to carry around a couple of grand anyway.
I don't. I just can't.
He's already said he's afraid of all the people robbing.
100, 200, 300, 420. I carry around 400. Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Are you serious or not?
I am very serious, Dutch.
Why don't we just take this with some earnest money?
I don't know about that.
I'll tell you what we got, J.D. Baby, we got a deal.
We need to probably sign the contracts first before you walk away with my my money, Dutch.
It's in his pocket, J.D.
He's
it's already in his pocket.
not signed any contracts with me, and he's walking away with my money. What is going on here, Lance Russell?
Well, I think what happened, I think your $445 bought you the opportunity to talk to Dutch again.
That's not a beforehand deal. My money, he's walking away with my money, Mod Squad. He's walking away with my money.
Yeah, he walked away.
Let me.
Oh, J.D. Hey, I know he appreciates it very much. J.D. Costello just been had Texas style. All he did was take $445. Thanks a lot, J.D. Costello, and all of your dynasty in there. We've got action coming up in the ring. There goes J.D., the Mod Squad, Abdul Gaddafi, Pat Rose, Tony Falk. I think we just saw a little Texas-style shuffle there, David.
I think you're right, and I think the Dutchman's the one that ended up with the cash and the upper hand. Yeah? The ring awaits, and arriving in the ring right now, young Jeff Jarrett. Set to do battle here in a single match against the Patriot, who comes up to the ring right now.
Bell time, and Jeff, who just said that he had about 3 weeks in the ring, but that good athletic ability, I don't care what the sport is, the good athletic ability will carry you a long way. There's a lot of other things you got to have, but brother, he has sure got that. Look at that.
Uh-oh. Look here, arriving at ringside, Bill Dundee.
Bill, don't jump in and mess up a match in here. Yeah, I've seen you do it before.
Last of this show, Lance Russell. Now, I standing back in the monitor, and this punk in the ring here is out here making excuses for me beating Jerry Lawler and Joe LeDuc. When did I ever need an excuse to beat them, Lance Russell?
He wasn't making excuses. He simply said he didn't want to be the cause of them losing some matches in there. He appreciated their letting him be in there on their side.
Okay, I'm going to give the boy credit where he's due. He used to play basketball, and he was very good at it. But you know what kind of basketball it was, Lance Russell? It was college basketball. That means he played with a lot of college kids, a lot of preppy kids just like him. And I'm sure there's a lot sitting out there looking at him saying, oh, that's a college graduate right there. Maybe I can be as good as Jeff Jarrett. Wrong, Daddy, wrong. He ain't going to make it in professional wrestling, Daddy, because this is when you separate the man from the boy. Oh, and I'm going to give you credit where it's due, boy. He's doing a good job right there right now, Jack.
Consider how short a time, Bill, he's been in professional wrestling, and you're the one that forced him to get in the ring when he already said he should be in the gym.
What do you mean I forced him? I slapped him because he slapped me one time. Then his dad comes out, tells everybody that he has a bad eye. Well, brother, if you're going to do something, you don't tell people your weak spots, right?
Yeah, well, some people would be more of a man than to take advantage of a person that's got a bad eye like that, and I think he wasn't counting on that situation with you.
Well, I'm going to tell you something, brother. This punk don't have to look too far from me. When he puts on about 50 pounds, he gets about 10 years older. You don't have to far to look for me, boy. I'll be right here breathing down your neck, Mr. Russell.
Well, time is on his side. He's strictly going up. There's no question about that. He's a good-looking young wrestler.
Right now, does he? The Patriot's giving him all he wants right now. I think he's about to, well, the boy's got a little more stamina than I thought. I got to give you... Well, that's a small...
Well!
Yeah, okay, Russell.
He's quick, and he's smart, and he's a doggone good athlete, and he comes up with a surprising win over the Patriot.
All I can tell you, Mr. Russell, that's the Patriot. Anytime you think you can do it to me, Jarrett, whether it be 3 months, 6 months, 10 years, or whatever, Daddy, I'm the guy that put you in the wrestling business, Mr. Russell says, and I'm the guy that's going to take you out. So when you grow up, punk, and all them college kids thinks you're bad, all them preppy, I can't stand them, because I never went to college. I never went to high school. I did it all in that ring from the time I was 16, Jack, and I'm going to take you out, Jarrett. And if you want to bring your old one-eyed daddy along, do that, too. Thank you.
The official winner, Dave.
The official winner, Jeff Jarrett. The time on it, 2 minutes, 36 seconds.
Okay, more action, and we'll be back to it in just a moment.
Costello's Mod Squad and their opponents as they get the motorcycle jackets and the helmets off. JD up on the apron there with the Mod Squad rule book in hand. Referee says, let's get it underway, and it is underway.
Underway it is with Jim Jamison starting out against Spike and Basher.
I want you to know I am as mad as a hornet. I am not putting up with what Dutch Mantel did to me. Nobody treats me like that. I'm J.D. Costello. I'm in control. I'll rule this organization, and what I say goes. I am breaking all relationships with Dutch Mantel. As soon as he shaves, as soon as he takes a bath, I might talk to him again. That guy has so much hair, 2 gorillas could hide in his body.
In addition to that, he has $445 a year money, J.D.
And it looks like he's going to keep it if he just broke off all negotiations there.
Unless J.D. wants to take it away from him.
We're going to make an example to Dutch Mantel. These 2 punks in the ring right now, we're pretending that that is Dutch Mantel out there. We're going to destroy him, put him out of wrestling forever. Don't you forget it.
Well, J.D. Costello over talking to Basher on the ring apron as Jameson being pounded by the Mod Squad, the Southern Tag Team champs. Hey, I understand there is a very good possibility that next week we will have an AWA Southern Heavyweight Championship match right here on television area.
All right, championship match next week. Good.
Yeah, that's not an absolute confirm, but it's about 93% positive.
Hope
right
we get
now.
it signed. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Lance Russell, I'm sick of your commentary. You're the only man alive that's seen Haley's Comet 3 times, so you shut up. Let me tell you one thing about Dutch Mantel. Everybody that we wrestle in this organization tends to have the ability for us to run them out of the territory. The same thing's going to happen to Dutch Mantel. I've commissioned all the milk carton dealers in the area to print his name and picture on the milk carton because he is going to be missing very soon.
Very clever, J.D.
Spike and Basher really in total control here over David Johnson and Jim Jameson. Johnson in there right now.
David, are you back?
I am back. Look at how mean Spike and Basher is. In New Orleans, when they got fired from the police department, they were so mean they got thrown in the New Orleans jail. Well, they got thrown out of the jail by the inmates because they were so mean. The inmates threw them out to the Cajun people, and you know how mean Cajun people are. They are mean. They're nasty. The Cajun people found them so mean, they threw them into the Cajun swamp. They were so mean in the Cajun swamp, the Cajun alligators threw them back out.
Boy, that is mean. There's no 2 ways about that. Count of 1, 2, 3, and that's going to be it right there.
2 minutes, 45 seconds, the time of it. Most of it spent, unfortunately, having to listen to J.D. Costello over here. But the Mod Squad, now they just dump David Johnson over the top rope.
Rough and tough team, there's no doubt. Spike and Basher, they hold the AWA Southern Tag Championship belts, and they come up in a one-sided victory over Jameson and Johnson. They were never in it, and Spike and Basher made certain that they never got in it.
Yeah, that was it. It was all Mod Squad. 2:45, again, the time on it.
Okey-doke. We're going to take time out right here. We've got a tag team action match of Dutch Mantel and Pat Tanaka going against Tony Falk and Keith Eric. All of that action and more coming up in just a moment. Oh, that card Wednesday night, a full one, 6 big bouts in that main event. Can you believe it? Bill Dundee, Buddy Landel, Joe LeDuc, Jerry Lawler, and LeDuc has already promised Lawler he's going to fire one or both of you guys over the top rope out into the audience.
You know, Les Russell, this ain't fair at all. This ain't at all fair. All we did was told Jeff Jarrett he wasn't man enough to be in the wrestling business, slapped him around a little bit, and took him down, pinned him 1, 2, 3, and everybody's mad at us. Lawler's mad at us. Then this big Canadian comes out of here. Lawler shows a tape of him getting hurt when he weighed 240, picked him up like he wasn't nothing, threw him 16, 20 feet and hurt his leg. Now, Lawler wants him to do that. That's not fair, Russell. The only thing I can say to you, Lawler, is you're scared of me, and you're scared of Buddy Landel. And you know why he wants me hurt, Russell? You know why he wants this guy hurt? So he doesn't have to defend that stinking belt that you shouldn't have in the first place. That's not fair, Lance Russell. Now, Joe LeDuc, I'm going to tell you something. I may not be the biggest guy in the world, but I'm real smart, Daddy. And whatever I go to think or to come up to keep you from doing that is going to happen. And I don't care what it is, Russell.
Yeah, we'll see Wednesday night.
You know, Jeff Jarrett, not today or tomorrow, but one day I give you credit. You're going to be somebody to contend with. But now you realize that you can't hang with the big boys. And speaking of hanging with the big boys, Lance Russell, all I heard is promises from Jerry Lawler and Joe LeDuc. You know, Jerry Lawler, just because Joe LeDuc picked you up and did that to you, don't think for one iota, Daddy, that he can do it to the superstar, the nature boy, because we're real men, Daddy. We know we put the M in the word man, okay? Evansville, Indiana, Daddy, we're going to take it to you all the way. And Jerry Lawler, you know that you stole that belt from Bill Dundee. That's no secret, okay? But Joe LeDuc, I come out here last week and I told everybody in Evansville, Indiana, that we owned that damn town, okay? And not only that, but I told them that I was going to knock that goofy, stupid-looking look off your face. And that's exactly what happened. What happened at the end of the match, Lance? Were they laying in a pool of blood or what?
Yeah, with hands.
Evansville, Indiana, we're taking you out, Daddy.
Wednesday. Okay, bell time, and here we go with our expiration of time event. Keith Eric teaming with Tony Falk to go against Dutch Mantel and Pat Tanaka. That's Tanaka starting off, Dave.
Yeah, Pat Tanaka's out of Hawaii. I haven't seen him a lot around here. We've seen him a couple of times, and he has looked very good. He is very well schooled in karate, judo, all of that.
We've seen him several times also in the arenas around the territory, and Tanaka very strong in the martial arts. And he is in there with Tony Falk.
Falk backed him into the corner, a little hair pulling, I think Tony used. Yeah, tried it again there, but reversed, and Tanaka and put him down. Boy, he knew he had him coming back at him, and he just chopped him.
Took advantage of the slingshot effect, and brother, when he got there, he unloaded on Falk, and I mean blistered him.
Something very satisfying about that, considering the hot dog that Tony Falk is. Falk tried putting Tanaka into the ropes, but caught a shoulder butt instead. Tanaka leaps over and up with a chop, and again, Tony Falk on the mat. This time he heads for the corner and gets the tag on his partner, Keith Eric. Watching over in the other corner, that's Dutch Mantel, favorite citizen of Oil Trough, Texas. A powerful chop by Tanaka. Here's the Dutchman.
Pat is a stocky young man. He's not all that tall. And Dutch Mantel is very direct.
Yes. Wow. That was the Texas version of a karate chop there.
Yeah.
Just hit him with your fist in the top of the head.
Pat gets a lot of power out of that stocky, hard body of his. Tony Falk takes the tag again, and Dutch says, "Get on in here. Welcome to Oil Trough."
Conference between Tony Falk and Keith Eric. I don't know what good that's going to do him at this point. Facing the Dutchman. Falk fires him into the rope, but Dutch ready with a boot as he came off of there. Upper arm hammers Falk down to the mat. We're coming up on the 3-minute mark of this expiration of time match. Maybe one fall, maybe two or three. Depends on the time. As long as there's time remaining, we expect to have some wrestling action. Good shot of Dutch Mantel. Keith Eric down on the mat. Dutch really putting on the pressure with that upper arm.
Boy, he's got it hooked in such a way he can go the opposite direction. The elbow's meant to bend, and he is manhandling Eric with no problem. Oh. Right off his feet.
Eric trying to get back to his feet, just can't do it. Now he is on his feet. Did he get the tag on Tony Falk? I thought he got a tag. I thought he tagged. Maybe Falk just doesn't want to come in here. I don't know.
The referee just waved him off on that one, so evidently he did not.
Did not get it. All right.
Oh, boy, this kid throws a mean chop.
Ooh, he does. Ooh, right into the corner with another one.
He head-butted Keith Eric right smack down on the floor. Tag again on the Dutch. They work very well together, Tanaka and Mantel. And boy, they're brand new together.
There's a backbreaker across the knee by Dutch Mantel. Keith Eric on the mat, counts at 2. He kicked out of it at the 2 count. He's over to the corner, and there's the tag, and here comes, from St. Louis, Missouri, Tony Falk. Winless. And how many matches?
I lost count.
Several
Tried
hundred.
my best to keep up to it, and he won't help you at all on his booking. Oh, believe me, he'll let us know if he ever wins that first match. Mantel put him in a position he won't be winning one right here. Boy, he plowed him in the middle. Whoa! See how compact that chop is? Boy, it just traveled about 8 inches.
He delays it, yeah, and sets up, so I guess he really gets maximum power when he unleashes that chop. Pat Tanaka. Tony Falk off the rope. This time he catches it with the back of the foot. Tag made. Keith Eric. Keith did not fare too well his last trip in there. Wait a minute, here comes J.D. Costello back.
Wait.
It's over with. Hey,
What are you doing, J.D.? Costello ringing the bell, not us.
I said it's over with. Dutch Mantel has messed with the wrong person. He's messed with J.D. Costello. This match is finished. I have a personal score to settle with this man. It's going to be one-on-one. The match is over with. Clear out that geek from Ethiopia, Tony Falk. Get him out. Get him out of the ring.
You got no business coming out here. The match is now officially over with. The Dutch went in behind, rolled him up, got a 1, 2, 3. And
Out of the ring. He is not going to do that to me. Nobody steals 1 cent from J.D. Costello. You don't, Eddie Merlin doesn't, and that thing in the ring doesn't either. I'm not putting up with it. You get out of the ring, Tanaka. I want him right there, Dirty Dutch Mantel.
you want him by himself? You better have all the company you can get. J.D. Costello stripping down to fighting size.
I'm not putting up with it. Don't you laugh at me either. One of you.
I'm just telling you, J.D. I'd think it over. J.D. peels off his tie, his shirt, his coat. He's in the ring with Dutch Mantel. J.D. attacks Dutch. Now he's outside running. His first attack didn't get too far. Uh-oh. Costello caught by Mantel. Here comes the Mod Squad. Here's the whole dynasty of Costello. Pat Rose, Tony Falk, Abdul Gaddafi.
Well, they got them all in there. Costello is now backed away from a lot out of dough.
We need some help for Dutch. Paul Diamond, Billy Travis, Jeff Jarrett, Pat Tanaka, Jim Jameson. And a brawl ensues. The ring full of it, where they've been beating and kicking and slamming on Dutch Mantel. They did their best to put him so he won't be wrestling.
Costello finally calls them out of there, but Mod Squad did some damage to Dutch Mantel.
With that interruption in here, Dave, I don't know whether you got an official time or not.
Time on it was 6:03 on the match.
6:03, okay. While they're checking Dutch over, we're going to take time out, and we'll check our time and Dutch and be back in just a moment. couldn't believe it when I saw J.D. unpeel and start getting ready to get in the ring. I should have known that he had all of the Dynasty standing back there waiting to come in there and jump Mantel at the first adverse problem that he had in there.
Which wasn't long.
No, it was not long. Dutch blocked a right hand from him, and then he rolled out of the ring, started running around it, and Dutch was hot on his tail, grabbed him by the pants leg when he came back in, and then here comes everybody into the ring.
That's the way that one ended up. Officially, though, Dutch Mantel and Pat Tanaka did win the match. 1 fall to none. Time ran out, or time did not run out. J.D. Costello rang the bell, but then Dutch got the pin on Keith Eric. So Falk and Keith Eric lose it. Falk is still without a victory. Paul Diamond defeated the Undertaker today in a match. Paul pretty well had that one in hand. Paul looking very good of late, and today's match no exception. Then Hustler Rip Rogers in here. Rip was going against David Haskins, but I think he had psyched himself into thinking he was going against Paul Diamond.
Yeah.
Rip did win the match over David Haskins in about 4 minutes. Jeff Jarrett defeated the Patriot. Nice move by Jeff Jarrett in that match, too.
Should be noted here, he certainly was an opportunist. He took advantage of the moment, and boy, that was it.
And he got the victory in 2 minutes, 36 seconds. Then it was Spike and Basher, the Mod Squad, with J.D. Costello and their official match going against Jim Jameson and David Johnson, and it was the Mod Squad, in fact, winning that one. Then Dutch Mantel, Pat Tanaka with a win over Tony Falk and Keith Eric, but as we just talked about a moment ago, all the action actually occurred after that match, after J.D. Costello came out here and challenged Dutch Mantel.
Well, the Dutchman came out and walked off with $445 of Costello's money. I don't think that it was a good idea to climb in the ring with Dutch one-on-one.
True.
I think we're about at it here today, David. By golly, we've used the time up in pretty good shape. We'll be back next week, and we'll be looking for you. For Dave Brown, Lance Russell saying bye-bye, everybody.
The announcers on this program are selected and paid by parties other than this station, namely the promoters of Champion